FAM units stand by for radio check. All FAM units stand by for radio check.
Across the county, law enforcement continues to chip away at the gang problem.
I want you to get up, sit over here in this corner. Okay? You sit there by him. No talking.
Is there a gun in this car somewhere? Sit over there. Get some crap.
25 Mary Queen 20.
Male Negro, black and brown, 5'4", 125, 11, 166.
We just want to make sure everything's all right.
There's no gun in the car.
There's not no gun in the car? Are you sure?
Positive. So we just don't want to see anybody get hurt, you know?
Put your legs up. Come here. Put your legs up.
Huh?
Put your legs up.
Go back to your original position.
Are you nice?
Hey, Mike, hook him up.
Who are you running with?
What's your nickname? What do they call you when you were banging? What was your nickname?
Romeo.
Jeromeo.
Romeo.
Oh, Romeo. You a lover boy? Lots of women?
I can do my best.
But gangs and their violence continue. And it is the victims of gang violence and their families who must live with the horror. It is these families who are now meeting to do something about the gangs. From the families of Long Beach.
El Neighborhood Watch y las pandillas.
To the community leaders of the San Fernando Valley. To the clergy and grassroots groups of South Central LA and the San Gabriel Valley.
If we perish, but we shall win the battle against crime, against drugs, against the evil in our community. Shout hallelujah.
I don't know if I figured I was running back, was trying to get out the way from the knife.
Blue jeans and white tennis shoes. He had a brown scarf around his head with French braids.
He's equipped. Threatened my life, my mama life, my family life, and I'll do it again.
We have opened our mouths, and we will not take it back. Shout hallelujah.
This guy I'm taking to jail.
Well, how do you know I'm on the influence of PCP?
Because I can smell it. If we had the time and effort, we take the kids into protective custody and arrest her for child neglect.
Together we stand, and divided we fall. God bless you.
But law-abiding citizens continue to fall victim to the gangs. From the elementary school principal who was shot after being robbed in broad daylight by Asian gang members in Encino.
He asked me to lie down, face down on the ground. And I smelled execution. I don't know why, I just smelled execution.
To the little old lady from Long Beach who had her purse snatched at knife point by a black gang member. She's still afraid of being identified.
And I feel that I would kill somebody if I had the first choice.
To Jorge Godinez, the innocent victim of a drive-by shooting 11 days after his 8th birthday. It's not a pretty story. Deputy Michael Bluntock was first on the scene.
We got a call of a shooting victim, a little kid, who got shot in the head. We got here about a minute later. When I saw the kid, I thought the kid was dead. There was a lot of people standing around the kid. I knew that the kid had a gunshot wound to his side of his temple. He was bleeding very profusely. There was a lot of blood matter, brain matter, and blood seeping from his head. I immediately picked up the kid and started giving the kid CPR. And told my partner, Deputy Weldon, that, hey, we better get out of here. The kid's life is on the verge of ending. So we just took the kid to the hospital.
The deputy's efforts saved young Jorge's life and remains free, maybe forever. For Jorge lives in a neighborhood where gang violence is a way of life and eyewitnesses see nothing.
I was sitting over here, but I didn't see what happened. I just see, you know, somebody shooting at the, and it was scary. I didn't see who was in it.
They don't stop. They don't stop, those gangs. They want to get somebody. They're gonna come back. They'll come back until they get somebody.
There were some eyewitnesses, but I think they are afraid to talk.
I don't have nothing to do with them. They don't have nothing to do with me either.
Tell me
No.
How come?
Because my life will be in danger. It takes people. People do it. Takes people to get rid of it.
The best thing we can do is move away for here.
The neighborhood's so in fear of themselves being victims of a heinous or violent crime that they pretty much stay to themselves. It's a sad state of affairs, but as long as there's gang violence, they'll choose to stay inside.
It is inside Rancho Los Amigos Hospital that Jorge is forced to live. Now, a month after the shooting, the gang's stray bullet has limited Jorge's speech to but a few words, and he must relearn those survival techniques that the rest of us take for granted.
Are you going to swallow that?
With the feeding, what we're trying to do is to get Jorge to swallow liquids and other thick things like the ice cream. And he's having some problems connecting that idea of swallowing. Physically, he is capable of it. Okay. Do you want to try something?
I think that there's a new trend of incidents of gang violence. And like you say, we are the innocent bystanders that pay for their hassle, you know, their problems.
Be careful.
You want to say hello to any friends? Who do you want to say hello to?
Danny.
And who else?
Hector.
And who else?
Nobody.
What do you want to say to them?
Hello. They shot him.
What did he do?
He just standing up and then he fell down in the grass.
He's actually missing part of his brain. As you know, they had to take it out in the operation. I can't tell you now what he's going to be when this is all done, but I can tell you with very good certainty that he will never be the child he was before, and he will never grow to the potential that he had before this happened. And there's an ad on TV that says a mind is a terrible thing to waste. That's what's happened here. This is a tragedy.
We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who make up better days, so let's start giving.